Yeah, we're up.
Oh yeah, it's just popped up.
Is it?
Cool, cool,
Cool, cool, cool. God, this song will wake you up in the morning.
I'm gonna jump on YouTube and quickly see the streamer.
Cool, cool, cool.
Get an extra viewer in.
Yeah, make sure we're all good.
Early like.
Yep. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so we obviously are creating like a mid-range resistance at the minute on the 15-minute. You can see we're starting to create lower highs, which is obviously good, but not really going to be looking for sales here this morning. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, gold's still where we... Gold's still respecting this area in the 4 hour. Okay, what's going on? Ibrahim, we've got Kelsey. Wow, long time no see. HTG. Yes, that is me, but obviously I've changed the name. Can everyone hear me okay? Oh, Kelsey, would you do me a favor? Just check out if the music's not loud or anything like that. I cannot tell.
Yeah, I can faintly hear the music.
Oh, it's not very loud at all.
Nah, loud at all now.
Oh, okay, okay. I shall turn it up a bit.
Turn up a notch.
What about that?
I'll let you know in a minute when it updates with the speed.
Okay.
Like.
Can't hear any music, bro. Alright, I've just turned it up now anyway, so you guys should be able to hear it. No, this is a good tune, but there you go. I'm gonna get a playlist, don't worry. I'm gonna eventually get a playlist. A good playlist. Okay, we're gonna wait for a few people to... We're gonna wait for a few minutes for a few people to join up.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit more now. Maybe a tiny bit more, I reckon.
What you reckon? Up a bit more?
So what's it on now, like 8 or 10? I reckon 15 could be alright.
Yeah, 15 then. It's just loud in my headphones.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wearing out.
Yeah. Can't even hear. Oh well. You should be able to hear it now. How's it sounding now, guys? Ibrahim, can you hear music now? Should be able to. It's loud in my speakers, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm gonna wait 1 more minute for a few more people to join up, and then we're gonna see what's happening over here. How are we getting on, Kelsey?
So,
How are we getting on? Can the music alright or?
oh, let me check it.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty good now.
Yeah?
Definitely hear that.
Alright, cool. Right. We've given people enough time, so let's make a start. Give it another 30 seconds or so. Let's just check out the news real quick.
Clear today.
Yeah, we're clear for pound news today. But I know there's a lot of stuff in and around China at the minute. Okay, let's make a start. So it does make sense at the minute. Based on the structure at this point, that there's potential for downside in the short term today, but obviously if you look at the higher time frames, you know, and you look at what the overall picture is, do we really want to be looking for sells? Not as such, because this 4-hour candle at the minute not made much of a top wick or anything like that, so it's still very early on in the session. But downside is obviously making sense at the minute from a session perspective. So if we I think the first thing to kind of pay attention here is what we did in the Asian session. So we know that this was the high point from before the weekend, right? So that's our most important factor here. So we got the high from before the weekend, and what we had was we had the Asian session obviously create a support, right? We closed up and above previous level here, right? What happened then at that point? Well, we had an opportunity then during Asian to push up to retest this, and what happened? We rejected the high point, right? We failed to break higher at that point, so we had a rejection of the highs, or double top, or whatever people want to call it, but I just see it as, look, we pushed up to the high, we failed to break, buyers failed to create new highs, and we pushed back down, right? So we pushed down and we formed a low, right? This is a low that's been formed at this point because we created a lower support than the one previously. Now the thing about this situation here is this lower support that's been created is a wick rejection based on the current, the previous 4 hour that looks something like that, that respected your previous 4-hour support, right? However, it does make sense at this very moment that since we formed this low over here, right, and that we were obviously pushing back up and above this level of support and this level right here, and we created a resistance below this previous level of support from before the weekend, and we're trying to now break down below this previous level of support. Where makes sense for price to go at this point? Well, it does make sense for price to move bearish coming down to this support again, doesn't it? We may though find we come to here, find more rejection and start heading back up. We may do that. Why would we may do that? Well, let's first of all have a look at our 4-hour candle and see what our 4-hour candle done. We came all the way down to around 156,600 and we rejected it and respected this support. So if you think about it from a 4-hour perspective, we're in this range right now. So even though this 4-hour candle is breaking down, we don't know for sure that we're coming down to here or breaking down lower, because this candle didn't do that. This candle broke down but couldn't close below. It respected this support. But on the flip side, you can see how this 4-hour candle here, the support that was formed, we rejected massively up over here, right? So at the minute, I think the waiting game is what's going to be really, really important, because if we're going to pull back, right, if we're really going to pull back on sells, look how much you've got to play with. You've got all of this, and you've got probably down to here max, right, before you could potentially create support and start heading back up. But the point remains the same, really, is that taking a sell from here to here when you know what's just happened during the Asian session is going to be a lot more tricky, and you know that's not something that we want to be doing at the minute. But if you like the idea, then it's obviously worth a shot if you feel that it's, you know, that it's worth it for you. But what we can do at any point, right, what we can do at any point is start to create bullish candles. Let's go back. We can start to create bullish candles, and then whatever happens, whatever support is created will be the wick of the current 4-hour that would be rejecting the same level, the same area that it did during the Asian session, which is this. Remember, this here, this rejection where support was formed, where you started pushing back up, is the current wick of the 4-hour candle. It's obviously a bearish one that could not break the 4-hour level. So yeah, there might be an option for sells at this point, based on what we're seeing now from a structure perspective. You're starting to break down below these levels of support, right? We spoke about what happened over at the high point. We spoke about how this is creating resistance below the 1-hour level. So you may want to give price a go coming down to here. Is that going to be my best opportunity today? No. So I'm going to be sitting on my hands with that one. My personal outlook today would be, I would take buys above this 157.060. I would look for buys above that, because it's obviously our recent resistance. We also would then be closing in and above our 4-hour level. It's obviously important. And we'd structurally be closing back above previous levels of support. We could then test this and then look to test this overall high point, and then maybe continue off out, right? Continue up to the next 4-hour level. Okay. But if you like the idea coming into 7 AM volume, then of course I can give you the guidance that there is a probability that we will now continue down with clean candles, right? There is that probability, but understand your current 30-minute range. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Your current 30-minute range is from here and here. That's your current 30-minute range. So what's really gonna make a bit more sense? Probably gonna see, you want to see a pullback at some point on the 30-minute, and then a further confirmation candle to say that we're going to head that way. Right now we're just creating bearish candles. we could easily wick down and create a bullish rejection and start going back that way. So it's a very risky idea, but what you'd want to look at is, like I said, either that pullback and further confirmation continuation, or you're using this current lower time frame structure to say that we can head down based on the idea that we're starting to create what? Lower highs, right? Yeah, we're doing that, but like I said, we could easily wick down and start to drive back up at that point. And if you like the idea, then your 7 a.m. candle was your shout, right?
Yeah, I'm giving these a go. Quite like the idea.
Oh, did you get in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Because after the buys I had, I was kind of looking at it, just as that support that formed on the 4 hour was kind of like a rejection. And I know we closed still above the previous 4 hour, but it was still bearish. I felt like we could feel this wick.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, you know, you had the 1 hour as well, breaking down below that structure. So if you want to give it a go, give it a go.
I see what you're saying, though. I don't understand that.
Yeah, but like I said, just be careful that we could, you know, again, create another rejection in here and then start pushing back up in that way. But I mean, you know, based off the 15 minute, until we're breaking, you know, back above like 156, 970, 980, then we're not heading up because we're still respecting this current structure. So yeah, from a lower time frame perspective, we have an option to maybe get down to here and maybe get down to here. You know, but this sort of trade, maybe you'd want to be a little bit, you know, like cautious and get to break even as quickly.
I'm break even already.
He's break even already. Look at that. We've called out a risk-free setup. And if you took that option, you'd already be up about 8.5 pips from what we just discussed. Kelsey took that option. So he's break even now. So he knows at this point that if this candle is going to come up to make a top wick, it's going to be very dangerous to be staying in that position, because obviously, like we said, we could be wicking down into this area and we could start driving back up. Yeah, good job getting in and getting to break even.
It hasn't really got a top wick, and don't want this to, like you said, it could easily flip. Especially as it's like the first couple minutes of the candle.
Yep.
It's either going to have the volumes come down, or it's just going to come down, make a wick and flip back up.
That's right. Yeah, either we're gonna just drive down, right? Or this will be a wick, and the candle's gonna then drive up in the second half and start pulling us back above the range. So keep an eye on it. Thank you, Sharif. Thank you very much. It's good to be back.
The mic's making a funny noise. It might just be like static.
Is it actually? Okay, check it out. Is that better?
Talk again?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it's not.
Alright, cool.
Oh no, I just made the noise then.
Oh, I don't know why it's doing that.
It is.
I can't actually, like the cables are all fine, so
yeah,
they're all plugged in alright. I don't really want to unplug.
Plug it all.
Yeah, go through the whole motion, as so to speak. So yeah, like I said, we spoke about where your entry would have been based off of the 6:30 a.m. candle closure. Structurally, your stop really should be over here, right? From a structural perspective, your stop should be over here. So it's about 15-16 pips, and then obviously you're looking for that push down to support at 156.75, right? That would be your target. But obviously, you know, you want to secure up, bag up, do whatever you want to do. You want to be watching this area here as well, 156.800. How much you up now, Kelsey?
I'm up about 36, nearly 10.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna try and let this run as close down to the lows as possible.
Yeah.
Just cover that loss earlier, so.
Yeah, nice. What's going on, Andy? How's it going, mate? Long time no speak. Okay, well, let's take a look at gold here for a sec. Yeah, so it looks like if the current, so if we're gonna have lower time frame now start breaking down on gold below this support, because we're in this 4-hour range at the minute, then it does make sense for us to continue down to around 1761. This level right here, 1761 would be the target for today. But you'd probably want to wait for the 1-hour candle to close, because a lot of 1-hour rejections have happened here. You can see as well how the 30-minute did break down, but you can see how we closed up and back above that range at that point. So I'd probably wait for the 1-hour candle to close and see if we can get like a resistance forming on the lower time frame as well, for that continuation on gold.
I suppose half 800. It's pushing quite quick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, sales made sense this morning, but I wasn't looking for sales this morning. I don't like playing these big ranges. Whenever I see this big range, I know, okay, probably going to be a no trade day for me. But we called out a very, very, very easy sell. So I think, guys, first day back, and we've already called out a 16 pip, 17 pip, and coming down to the target for 20 pip move here. Very, 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 very good. Beautiful. You're out of this, yeah? Perfect.
Yeah.
Job done, man.
Yeah, it's about, what was that in the end? About 16, 15 pips.
Oh, beautiful. That's nice, man.
Yeah, back in profit. Decent.
Awesome.
Put up.
Yeah, structurally, it made sense. It was a easy move. Spoke about the lower highs on the 15-minute. Spoke about on the 30-minute. Awesome. 1 hour as well. Structure made sense. Yeah, it's basically at that 1 hour level now. So if I was you guys, I'd be banking up profits. Or if you're trying to let it run to 156, 730, that's okay. You can. But like I said, you know, you want to be careful of the 800 level. So, but yeah, nice.
Monday as well, innit?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, and it's a Monday. Awesome. Good. Sold GJ from 157 298. Okay, perfect. 298. Nice. So you sold up over there. In Asian. Just watching market now and playing US30 a lot recently. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's nice, Andy. Yeah, GJ clearly dropped a lot in Asian, which is fantastic. So you sold it from about 300. Wow, yeah, that's very nice. Caught a nice move, and yeah, we called out a nice win to start the week. Did anybody take those sells? Put a W in the chat, including you, Kelsey.
Yeah, like what gave confidence if I'm going at a 1 hour structure?
Yeah, 1 hour was solid.
Yeah, because I was just seeing, like, obviously I'm able to retest the high and we're just making these lows here. So you kind of expect now for us to come down somewhere here, at least before we pull back.
Yep.
Have a lower high there, so that's pretty simple.
Oh yeah, it was a nice move. It was a simple. It was a good move.
It's like you're saying though, when you see these like clean candle ranges, it's very deceiving in a way, because like you just don't know what it can do. You rarely see these clean candle moves.
No, when we have these sort of ranges, like what you were just saying, is it's very tricky to trade these. You know, sometimes you'll get like here we might have got like a weak bullish candle, and then the next one went bearish, and then somehow we'll still do like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but it made sense to come to here. Well, yeah, it did, but you're in a range. This is your range. But yeah, I know what you mean. But the reason today was nice was because you had a lot of confirms. You had the 1 hour confirm, you had the 30-minute confirm, you had the 15-minute structure confirm, and you also had the 5-minute giving you that structurally confirm. So overall it was nice. But like I said, I knew this morning I wasn't going to be looking for any sells. Because like I said, if I'm going to catch a sell, we've got all of this to play with for a potential pullback area. Got all of that, right? But I know that I would much rather, in theory, wait for it to come down to here and then look for support to do that. I'd much rather look for support to start doing that and pushing back up to retest this. You know? But obviously, for the most part, it was a very, very good move to start the week. Didn't personally take it, but I've been trading and doing this long enough now to know what options make sense. But obviously, like we said, it was a little bit more risky. But like I said, the option was there. If you took it, you took it.
Tell you what, it's getting cold now in the mornings, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You outside still?
Yeah, still in the cabin. I've got the heater going.
No heating on at the moment in my house.
Is it up?
Wrapping up.
Wrapping up. Yeah, I couldn't do without the heating, to be honest. The heater, sorry. So yes, did anybody in the YouTube take that setup? We've got 15 people. Did anybody take that setup? We called it out. I think stops above 157.085 would have given you plenty of opportunity to get out early.
Yeah, I had my stops only above the hour.
Okay.
Thought that'd be good enough.
Okay, what's this? Support at 156, formerly weekly resistance, new support at 156. So yeah, 156, anywhere basically above 158, 800, 156, support above there, you would be looking for continuation. Because like you said, you know, this was previous weekly R. You've broken above that, we can drive back down to here and still do that. You know, we're not technically, from a higher time frame perspective, we shouldn't technically be looking for sells until we are below here, because structurally it wouldn't make sense, because you've broken that to the upside. Now your job is to look for that continuation. But obviously, you know, we trade sessions, so obviously there's opportunities within your sessions. But even from a daily, you could argue, yeah, closer up to 156, support above there, bang, it's worth a shot. 4 hour as well, where would then that make sense? Bang on 156. So we can see previously, this, in fact, I need to mark that up, it's a good shout. We could see previously this was the highs on the 4 hour. So support above here from before this week at all makes a lot of sense. Gonna mark that out. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a grand scale of things, we've gone nowhere. You know, even though we had a move down in our session, which was great, we said targets, etc. But the point is, where have we actually gone? We're still not closed down here to say that we're coming down. We're still in this area of potential rejection on the 4 hour, right? We could still close up and above the range, so we just don't know yet. Hey, do you want to look at gold? I did look at gold. I've spoken about gold, but I can reiterate. Oh, it looks like gold has actually come all the way down. Yeah, it looks like gold started breaking down. Mark this up. Yeah, so we spoke about sells on gold, that I wanted to see the 1 hour candle close because of this support being held, but obviously gold is breaking down now. So when gold breaks down like this, and there's no, you know, yeah, you could say, oh, but an impulse entry, well, take that if you will. But when I see gold doing this now, the only thing I'd be looking for would be that to pull back, to create a resistance, to continue down below this structure, right? Somewhere in here or below here makes sense. But I'd want to see the 1 hour candle close, because the 30-minute might close like this, and then you get the next 30-minute, you know, start to push back up, leaving that 1 hour wick, and then you could use the current 1 hour closure as an opportunity to get in, stops above structure point, and then you should have the new 1 hour candle. Oh, let's change it to red. You should have then the new 1 hour candle and the 30-minute start driving down to fill the range, which would be the wick on the 1 hour, and then continue down and maybe break that support. Who knows? But yeah, we'll wait and see on gold. And to be honest, technically you should be looking for potential buys, but not yet. You know, I wouldn't even be looking. Technically, you shouldn't be looking for either, because where we are in the market is very tricky. Because, you know, you've got the area that we broke up from, we're pulling back to. We could see some reaction. And at the same time, you know, higher time frames on gold are looking a lot more. Well, no, in theory, they are looking bearish in a way, because of how we closed before the weekend, closing back below structural levels on the daily, right? So yeah, downside does make sense. Where to? Maybe we're going to come down to this zone here on gold, which is a key zone, so that makes sense, but it's a very tricky area to trade at this minute. And if you were waiting for good buys, you'd want to take buys above these previous daily levels, because what do we have then? Clean ass moves back up to whatever was created here. So you can see 4 hour though, we're just breaking down at the minute. Obviously what we did was we created a resistance, right? So we had this sell off from the weekend. We spoke about this support, we could create range, we could close back above here, we could start driving up. But at the same time, we've now started to create resistance, which obviously makes sense why this candle is currently pushing down, but that's not enough to say that we're going that way. You know what I mean? We don't know yet. We could reject at this level and then start to push back up into that 4 hour range. So we're going to have to wait and sit on our hands with gold. GJ is finding some rejection over here, potentially, but we'll see. But if the 5 minute starts to create resistance, then it will just fill the range on the 15 minute. It will fill the wick on the 15 minute and will continue down to 156, 730.
What are you looking for now then, do you reckon?
I'd probably wait for resistance below here.
Yeah.
Would make sense. Or to see rejections from the lower end of the range, you could argue. Support being formed could give you a shot back up in the range, but it'd have to be during volume and it'd have to be a good rejection. But either way, I'm kind of seeing as probably no trade today because of the way that where we are. You know, I'd also, obviously, like I said at the start of the stream, I'd be waiting for buys above here. Right, I'd be waiting for buys above there. Potentially above here. But this would obviously be a very important level. So that would then become a danger zone, this area. So if, let's say, for example, the 30-minute close, the next 30-minute close is like that, there might be an opportunity to get into a trade, but I know that I have to be break even by this, because we could do that in theory. So yeah, I mean, basically I don't see a trade, because every time I see this situation, it's a very tricky spot to be in, and I understand that. So I see it as potentially today for me as a no trade. But like I said, there could be opportunity, there could be options. Above here makes sense, closures, resistance below here would make sense, right? Then I'd look to push back down to maybe 156. But until we're doing that, we're just in this range, and for me it's best to just stay out of that. But like I said, there was an option this morning. You got in, you bagged up, which is good. There was an option to push down based on what was happening structurally in the lower time frame and within the range. We called that one out, but obviously it was one of those trades that could easily have gone wrong. But if you got a little bit of profit you want to play with or whatever, then it might have, it was worth a go. But to start the week, I have to think about, I'm on 0 to start the week.
Yeah.
So I want to be putting myself in the best position, which is always going to be outside of the range. You could also argue that we could start breaking down below the range, and then we may get closures back inside, and then I'd look to test.
That could be an opportunity.
That could be an opportunity.
I mean, this 30 minute looks like it could end up flipping. So you might get a big 1 hour candle, end up closing above your area you want to take buys. And maybe get stops below 30-minute candle.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like we said, this 30-minute candle could have done this. That's why you had to be break even. That's why you had to be very aware of what could happen with this candle. The way that
as soon as it hit like 6 pips, I was break even.
Yeah, it made sense. It made sense because it was one of those sort of trades.
Yeah, you could always say in that circumstance there's no like specific break even point, but then it's just kind of using your own intuition.
Yeah, because you're within the range. I'd say if you were really to look at a break even point, would have been 156, 800. But you by then you were already in a good amount of good position. Yeah, you was up 13, so that's a perfect place to either be securing or 100% be break even by then. And then you had an opportunity to hold to about 15, 16 pips, which is nice. But yeah, we're gonna wait for this 30-minute candle to close, and then we'll see what happens. But guys, YouTube chat, you guys are quiet as anything. You guys are not saying much. So it looks like Kelsey was the only one who caught the sells that we called out. So if you listen up, you'll get what's going on, as they say. So yeah. Anyone got any questions or anything? People are quiet today.
Did 20 viewers though, doing alright.
That's not bad for the first day back.
Yeah. What do you reckon, 2k by Christmas time? New Year?
What, viewers?
Nah, subs.
Oh yeah, 2k is doable, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some giveaways soon as well to try and stimulate back the growth, shall we say. Yeah, we could get to 2k by the new year. But obviously that's not my main focus. You know, that's a natural growth. That's an organic growth. You know, what's obviously the most important thing to me is obviously the trading aspect, right? Improving on knowledge, improving on teaching skills. You know, but obviously, yeah, the growth on the YouTube is nice as well. But yeah, so that's the point. Make sure you are subscribed though, everyone. Anyone who's watching right now, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube, because the next giveaway will be done with those who are subscribed only. Yeah, all future giveaways will only be with people who are subscribed. So I'm probably thinking of doing one next week, and then we're going to announce it this weekend. But giveaways, you know, there's giveaways, aren't they? Everyone loves a freebie now and again. Nice, we got 16 likes. Thanks very much, everybody. Much appreciated. So yeah, like I say, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube if you want to be involved in any future giveaways, and just because obviously it's good to be subscribed. Oh, thank you, Ali. Very nice. So Ali will now be entered into any future giveaways. Yeah, this 30-minute could come back all the way back down to its lows. It is very possible. Or the new 30-minute may create the wick for this 30-minute and then drive down, which is fine, because I always knew that it had a probability to do that today, but like what we've been discussing all stream. Let's take a look at gold, how gold is closing up. So see now how the 30-minute candle's coming to a close on gold. We haven't quite reached the 4-hour level yet. So I think it's definitely going to be better to wait for the 1-hour candle to close. Hi all, hi Ali, how's it going? Yeah, so you can see now 15 minutes retracing. So this is where you can start to use your smaller time frames, and then, you know, we can start to see how price is going to close up. Some may want to get in on the 30-minute close, but your stops are going to be huge for what? For half the risk. So it doesn't really make sense. I think the best option for me personally would be to see the 1-hour candle closing below 1767, and then that would make sure that we potentially see a pullback, lower time frame, and some form of a resistance formed, like I said, below these structural points. So you want to see resistance below here or here or here, like we said. This would be obviously your low that's just been formed, but obviously then you'd want that continuation to your 4-hour level. By the way guys, I just want to first off apologize for the music. It's not the best songs in the world, but I've just had to go with it for the minute, because my old playlist that I did have, yeah, it got lost, so starting from scratch.
You have to spend an evening just going through all the songs and like finding the ones you like.
Yeah, no, I have not got the time nor the patience for that. So I think it's gonna have to be just
natural.
Yeah, if I like it, I'll add it. Yeah, plus obviously, you know, I might just try and get somebody to find me a really good playlist. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, 30-minute candles closing fairly healthy. Like I said, it could come back down in the, you know, towards the end of the close, which it has. 15-minute looking like a rejection. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, we're not ready to start pushing back up yet. So the 30-minute candle now looking fairly healthy. So if you didn't secure up down at this support, or you didn't secure profit somewhere over here or around 800 like we said from the 15-minute area, anywhere in that zone, if you didn't bag up, then obviously your new 30-minute candle might now start to push down for you at that point. So you got the 730 candle now, should continue moving bearish because that will close very healthy on that 30-minute candle. So you look at the 15-minute candle, came all the way up and created a rejection at that point. 5-minute created a solid resistance, so in theory should be continuing down, but we'll see. Right, so 30-minute candles closed on gold. 30-minute candles closed. So like I said, I'd personally want to see the 1 hour candle close, because stops on 30 is humongous as well. I'd much rather wait for the 1 hour candle to close, see if we can get a closure around 1766, something like that. And then you can look for price to fill your 1 hour range and continue down. The new 30-minute candle is moving bullish at this point. But yeah, honestly guys, it's great to be back on the YouTube. I've honestly missed it a lot. So really good to be back with everybody. But honestly, these songs are there to just wake you up.
I'm gonna listen to them and jump back on it.
Oh, honestly, these songs are mad. If you was half asleep coming to the charts, just jump on the stream. It's gonna wake you up with these. Shut up. Sort your face out. I like that one.
A proper dubstep tunes, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so hard to get the playlist right though. Oh, that was hard. Little eagle in the background there. You gotta listen to this one. This one's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck it back on.
Oh, brilliant. Right. Yeah, so gold 1 hour candle, you got 27 minutes coming up. 30 minutes obviously pushing up at this point on the 30-minute. But sometimes it may not even be the 1 hour close. You may want to see a resistance being formed on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute. Who knows? But we're waiting up over here. GJ 30-minute. It's still bullish at this point. I think gold sells could be the play here today on the 1 hour. I think that's going to be the best play here today, if it comes up. Okay, right, I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we're going to take a look, see what gold's doing, see what GJ's doing. So yeah, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Literally just bear with me. I'm going to make a drink. Nothing really going on at this point. I've discussed my options for today anyway. We discussed the move that you could have taken based from the 7 AM volume. So we did discuss that. So yeah, I won't be selling until I've got resistance below here, and breaks above 157 would make sense for upside. Okay. Or you also have the option, which is going to be probably unlikely, but if we do start breaking, let's just say we start breaking down below support and you get closures below, and then we get solid rejections with closures up and above, some form of engulf, then I think upside at that point would make sense to clean the range. But we'll see. That's probably unlikely to happen anyway. Right, YouTube, while I go get some drinks, this is an opportunity for you guys to come up with any questions or anything you want to ask. This is the time to be learning. It's not always just about catching out moves and stuff like that. It's also about understanding the process and understanding how you can better yourself as a trader. So do ask the questions, do come on. Oh, nice, Kelsey. So I just saw you posted up your profits in the chat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thought I'd put it in. So I was talking about themselves earlier before it happened, so.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Right, I'll be back in literally 5 minutes, guys. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, looks like GJ finding some rejection here again. Yeah, I think it's looking like a no trade day for me, I think. Looking that way. How's gold setting up now? Perfect. So it looks like the 30-minute is coming back up. Looking like the 1 hour candle could close below at that point. -minute pushing up at this point. Now if we start to look on the 5-minute, this is where you want to start to see on the 5-minute time frame rejections to the upside, and to start see candles closing like this, right? And then we could start coming back down to retest this, and then that's your target there on the 4 hour. So you do want to start to see rejection wicks to the upside, and then if you start to get that 1 hour close below, you may want to maybe even wait for a top wick on the 1 hour and then take as it starts to drive down. And of course you'll be using this as a target, this low as a target based on the 5-minute. But yeah, you can start to see how we should be forming up if we're going to start to head down. GJ rejection on GJ. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, it's rejecting this area, but I mean, for the most part, we're just in a range at the moment, so there isn't really much else for it to do. So we just have to wait and see how she closes. Because in theory, there's not really much going on. The only opportunity there was bang on the 7 AM. We spoke about that. That was the opportunity. In theory, it didn't even actually reach the target, but I mean, it hit the zone, so that's what that matters. Because we had a little 15-minute zone from about here. That would be, in theory, anywhere in there is the target. You know, obviously from a 4 hour perspective, if you're using your 4 hours as targets, then I mean, you know, this would be your target over here, but we're not going that way yet. You know, we don't know for sure until we start creating resistance, you know, below here or even below here, like a solid, you know, pull up, create resistance again, another lower high, and we start to drop. We're not coming down this way. We could get another bearish candle and then still go bullish, you know. That's because of the heavy bullish momentum we had from last week. So I was kind of looking for continuation to start the week, or, you know, allow for the pullback and then catch my bigger moves later on. If we look at the 4 hour, yeah, there's not really much going on. Because you could argue that the last 4 hour, so where was this rejection at? Basically at 157, right? This was a previous. So look at the 4 hour here, right? Oh, that song sounds disgusting. I'll have to change that. Not like that. Sorry about that one. That is like ear biting. You can see from a structural point of view this range that we had previously. And what's quite funny is that if we're to look at these price levels, what's this price level? So this is around 158, and then we've got this price level around 157. And if we come left and we see what's going on now, have a look. What's going on now? Creating the same similar structure here again. Same kind of structure. Range, rejection, right? So where's going to become the best place to take that trade? Not in that range, right? So you can see we're spot on in that range. So we know that this level right here is a rejection point previously. Funny because we're rejecting at that level now. We're also rejecting this level here, right? So for continuation, I think we could easily see a move up to 157,700. You know, and this 4-hour candle has only come back into this 4-hour zone. Remember, this is the 4-hour support zone, right? And this is the 4-hour resistance zone. Remember that. Those are the two zones. So we've only dipped into this zone. Okay? We haven't got to here yet. We haven't done this and start driving up. No, if you're looking for that move on the 4-hour, then one, you need to understand what's happening in the lower end. Two, you want to understand where you want to take an entry based off of the bullish side of this candle. And two, you just want to have a bit of higher time frame vision. So I think GJ is starting to make its way back up now again. Let's have a look on gold. 15 minutes starting to create potential resistance, but you want to be very, very careful at this point. If you like the idea, right? If you like the idea of this 5-minute setup, then obviously that you can use to your advantage. You know, you could potentially use this to your advantage. Not the best close now in the world, but if it was a healthy 5-minute candle after seeing this rejection, and now we're starting to create resistance, what makes more sense? Well, downside makes more sense. But obviously, if you just want to be simple and you want to have something, you know, that you're not really confident in the 5-minute or anything like that, then obviously the best thing to do is now to just wait for this 1-hour candle to potentially close. But now it's, you know, the stops are starting to get big again as the 30-minute is now retracing to potentially flip bearish, right? So then you have to ask yourself, okay, if you're planning on taking a 1-hour entry, what would entice you to get in early? Well, you want to see some form of a resistance. This 15-minute could still end up bullish, right? The 15-minute could flip. So now you want to start to see resistance being formed. Now, this situation here is okay, but it's not the best in the world. We can still do this. You know, this is good to see first. This is also good, but it's not the healthiest. It's not the strongest candle for us to say we're going that way and we're going to retest that low and continue down. So, for the most part, nothing really going on at this point. I think the best thing to do is to see how the 1-hour candle is about to close. Oh, GJ 1-hour candle as we speak is now flipping bullish at this point. Been a long ass wait. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But notice what we're starting to do on the 30-minute. What we're starting to potentially do. But where makes sense above this zone. It's probably still going to be a little bit more waiting here today, but that'll be my job, because YouTube job, that's going to be packed up very soon. Still, we are creating resistance on the 5-minute on gold over here. But just one thing to note, if you're using the 5-minute as an entry over here, let's say, I don't know, you want to take an entry on this 5-minute close, if it closes strong, right? You're using the 1-hour stops to make sure that your analysis is based on what you originally were looking for. You're not putting your stops here because you could have the next 1-hour candle fly up, tap there and drive, you know? So you have to be very, very careful. You don't get too ahead of yourselves. I think downside makes sense on gold. And now you can see the 4-hour candle is doing potentially exactly what the same 4-hour candle was doing previously. Wick down into the zone, couldn't break below. So we're gonna wait and see what happens over here. Man, YouTube has been seriously quiet this morning.
I've just seen that.
They've just got back.
All the way. Yeah, just got back. You look for buys if you close above a 4-hour level, you're going to wait to get above.
No, I would wait till we're above 157. Yeah, because the only thing about taking a buy here is we're still in that range, and we could potentially just create another bearish candle and just start trickling our way down, you know. But I think what we may find is hopefully either this candle drives up, right, and let's say it does close above here, then we're probably going to see a little bit of a pullback at open, and then hopefully a drive up to at least push up to here is what I'm hoping. But we also may be just pulling back up to create, you know, a 4-hour higher top wick, and then we don't drive down, you know. But I think I would give it a shot if we broke above 157. If we broke above 157, it's worth a shot. And YouTube are going to be missing out because half the people have dropped off here.
Big time, yeah.
It's quite big stops though.
Yeah, quite big.
Probably have to put a lower, much lower risk on it.
Yeah, if you do get up to the highs, but you might be looking at like 30 pips, so you still like
in the end. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I can still do a decent amount.
It's a lot of volume though in there at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Last couple of weeks been good.
Yeah, a lot of volume. I think I would only put a 0.5 on it, to be honest, just because anything over 25 is going to be big for a one lot position. But we're moving up nicely over here, so if we get this 30-minute candle closing above 157, I think it's going to be a really good shot coming up to 157.232, and then for us to continue on to 157.350. But we got to wait the 3 minutes over here. 1 hour candle looking good, 4-hour candle also moving bullish at this point. 1 hour looking nice, 30-minute looking nice. Yeah, we're finally getting a break out of the range, which is obviously I personally would much rather take a loss on taking the trade that I planned for than to take a more of a risky setup and win, because I know that's not gonna, like, it makes sense, don't get me wrong, it was a good setup, whatnot, but your probabilities are always going to be better outside of a range, always. You know, we know how ranges act, we know how they, you know, even if your chances, you know, seem 100%, you can just have that one-off candle that will do something because it's just in a range. You know, there's not enough volume because we're in a range. But we'll see how this closes because we've still got 2 minutes. We may not even break up over here. We may just close and stay within this range, right? So we've got a minute and 45 seconds. because I may try and let the whole position run up to 158, because that is my weekly target, and then that would make that would be better. That would be a good move.
Yeah.
We have a minute left over here. See if we can break above. If we stay in the range, then I think we're gonna call it a day here soon. But we've got 30 seconds to see if this candle can break above, and then we can look to continue up to 157, 350, and then hopefully up to 158 near enough. But I'll secure positions on the way and see what happens. A little bit of lack of movement here in the last part. Got 10 seconds to see.
So much earlier.
You know, I know. It just drove up and now it's nope. So no trade for me. No trade for me. Still in the range. 1 hour still in the range. We may still go bullish, but then we don't have confirmation. Right.
Hello? Is that? I thought you talked to me, but you went on mute.
Hello? Oh, sorry. No, I wasn't on mute on the Zoom, but I was on mute on the YouTube, I think. Yeah, no, just I've got to go soon. Yeah, there's no entry for me here yet anyway, so just like we're gonna have to call it here. Oh, gold, 1 hour. So let's take a look. 15-minute did create a resistance. So you can see here 15-minute created resistance. 1 hour candle is closed at this point. So gold sells make a lot of sense. Stops on the 1 hour are going to be about 42 pips. So yeah, big stops, but it makes a lot of sense. So we spoke about gold sells as well. 15-minute created that resistance, which is nice. 5-minute structure looking good. I think gold should continue bearish at that point. I think if you want a bit more of a tighter stop, you could probably have it at 1767. But then if you get tapped and then we still drive down, then you know then your stop should have been based off the 1 hour. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think gold should continue bearish over here. Gold 1 hour candle should continue down to 1761. 1761 should be incoming on gold. Just need to see another push. And GJ is still in the range. I'd have been much happier for the 30-minute to probably close like that, with a little wick, and then I could have at least anticipated open to drive up to there and then see what happened. But at this point now we have zero confirmation based on where we closed. The only confirmation we have is above here and above here, but that's no good in the scale of this is our current and most recent range. So buys don't make sense yet. But yeah, gold 1 hour candle should make a top wick and then should continue moving bearish. Right, gonna keep an eye on it. GJ now trying to push up and above. No opportunity here. Unless you guys are in on them impulse entries, but risky business. Risky business.
Like I was saying, if it closed above the 4 hour level, we could have waited for a wick and then took it up to at least 0 there and gone break even.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just too hard.
Yeah, too tough. Yeah, and I'm not gonna take it impulsively. I'm not gonna take it impulsively over here because we can still finish off like this and easily. We may even tap to here and then do that. The only reason you could argue it might be worth it is based off the structure on the 1 hour now starting to create higher support. That's it. That's the only thing you have in your confirmation. That is it. And the idea that it closed back in the 4 hour range. So in theory, your max is there. Because we don't know we're going over here because we haven't had confirmation above there yet. But wick wise, we could wick to there. Okay. Anyway, guys, duty calls. I'm gonna be off now. Finishing up here for today. So like I say, for me personally, I'll be looking for buys above 157. Even if we hit here, we pull back, create support, whatever. I'm looking for buys above here with confirmation. We do not have confirmation yet, so don't get carried away. But that is my analysis here for today. Spoke about that since the start of the stream. So just to remind you guys, we did call out the sells. Obviously Kelsey bagged up on that, took those profits, called the sells out from the 7 AM candle to push down. It was playing the range, but that was all the kind of option we had here for the Monday. So if you took that, well done. And then obviously we've been discussing gold sells and how you'd probably want to wait for the 1 hour candle to close. 1 hour candle is now closed. You have that opportunity to now look for continuation on the downside. Obviously you want to be paying attention to your 15-minute. If you get a bullish 15-minute like this, it is going to be very tricky for us to go that way because we've created that resistance there. So this makes sense for us to head down to and then eventually here. But we'll keep an eye on it and obviously we'll let you know how it goes. But I personally would have waited for the 1 hour candle because then you have this 1 hour candle breaking the support and then we should look to continue moving bearish based on the 4 hour. But also remember what the previous 4 hour done, and it did not close below this level. So there's no guarantee, you know, there's no 100% we're coming down here, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, we don't know yet. You know, until we saw resistance, which we're creating now. But again, you know, resistance can be disregarded, which if this 15 minutes starts breaking above, closing above here, means it's being disregarded. So sometimes that's why it's good to wait for maybe a top wick on the hourly, and then you want to execute as we start to break down. Would be easier than just taking it on the close and then now you're worried that your trade's not playing out. Which is how gold is slightly different from how I would trade GJ. But there you go, and there is why we don't take impulse entries. Now look at GJ on 30-minute. So for all of you that weren't, oh yeah, we didn't close above, but you know, volume could still, yeah, well, that's exactly where do we react? Same level. What we're doing now, back in the range. Alright then guys, so drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed today's YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 6:30, 1:45, around then. But yeah, so we called out sells. Good day back to the stream. Be careful guys, don't get carried away. We had a lot of volume last week, there's a lot of ranging going on here this morning, so just be very cautious. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. So thanks very much. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you've liked, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Thanks guys, thanks everyone on the Zoom, appreciate it a lot. Thanks guys, see you in the morning.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.